As Global Missions Pastor at the People's Church in Toronto, Sandra Ryan connects both local and international mission partners in various ministries. Her role is to help facilitate services, mission teams, and resources.
Tell us a little bit about the Global Outreach Conference. What is it? What are your objectives? What is it about?
So every year, as a church, in the fall, we gather together for 3 weeks, and we really dwell in our priorities, our priority of mission, and allow God to help us examine our lives in light of those priorities again. Are we really living these out? Is this still what we hold to be true? And so we invite speakers in who share stories that inspire, that challenge. We have prayer together as a people so that God can speak to us in terms of where He's leading us next. And then as a people, committing ourselves, our resources, our time, again, to our shared priorities and mission. And that's really what the DNA conference is about.
People's Church is known as a missions-focused church or has a missions heart. How do you decide which partners you're going to work with?
Collaboration in mission is a hugely important value for us. We really believe in the body of Christ around the world. And that has always been. So we'll never think, how can we do this as the People's Church? We'll always say, how can we come alongside people, or who's already doing this, and let us in some way support and help. And I love being part of that collaboration process.
And there are some really incredible stories that come out of people making personal sacrifice to share the good news of Jesus around the world.
It's interesting that you use the word sacrifice, because almost to a person, any of the missionaries that I've spoken to would rarely see it as sacrifice. As soon as you become part of what God's doing, outside observers like you and I, we would see it as sacrifice. But for these people, they really see it as privilege, as receiving so much more from the experience than they feel that they are giving.
Do you get those types of stories often of somebody that enters into that type of ministry, pastoral or missions?
You do get those dramatic change of directions. But generally, I find that God is somewhat consistent in what He's doing, how He's gifted and created people. And although I love to hear stories like that, I love just as much to hear stories of doctors who stay doctors, and this is their mission. I love to hear stories of lawyers who stay lawyers. We see Matthew, tax collector, and Matthew does a 180. Matthew was a tax collector, involved in government on some level, and he goes into the pastoral ministry. That's his new mission. But then we see Zacchaeus, also a tax collector, and he remains a tax collector. We have no evidence that he leaves that, but he does it in a brand new way because Christ is part of that now, and he does it honestly, and he does it with integrity, and he does it in a way that invites friends who are never going to go to church to hear about the message of Jesus. So I love both sides of that. I love the people who have said, God's taking me in a different direction. That's courageous and brave. I love to hear those stories of God's kept me where I am, and I'm going to do this with my whole heart, living for Him.
How do you define missions, and what would you say, what is a missionary?
So what was the mission of Jesus Christ? It was to bring salvation and to bring in the kingdom. To be like Jesus is every believer's, to have Christ in us and to live that out is our mission. But I also see a beautiful compassion part of the mission of Jesus when He was here on earth. And that compassion part is where are the people in need on my road as I'm walking? And how can I Or how can we as a church come alongside those people in need? And I also see a justice piece. When he spoke of kingdom, he spoke of the fact that things should look different in how we live as a society, as a neighborhood. And what does that justice piece? Those are the three key aspects. What is mission in my life? What is our mission as a church? As far as a missionary goes, I believe that every person in some way, as soon as they experience the salvation of Jesus Christ, is sent. That's what a missionary is, a sent one. Then to go and demonstrate the message, the compassion, the justice of Jesus. And all of us, because we're all parts of the body, are going to have a uniquely powerful way of doing that.
Sandra, I can't thank you enough for taking time today to share.